Buyer demand continues to surprise in Portland metro real estate. Let's take a look at the very latest numbers and see if we can make some sense of our local market. Hello everyone, I'm RRMilligan and I've got the very latest in Portland Metro's local real estate stats and trends. My sample includes the full Portland Metro area, including Southwest Washington. As always, if you have any questions about what's going on in a specific area, just drop me a line or post your question in the comment section here. First up, our sale prices. The average sale price had another big swing this week. As I've said in the past, we tend to see big swings in our week-to-week numbers due to the relatively small sample size that we're working with. You can see that here in this chart. This week it was an upward swing with the average sale price landing about 5% higher than the previous week's low and landing about 4.6% higher than the same week last year. When we take a step back and look at the bigger trend, the average sale price for the month of April was down about 2.2% compared to April of 2025. This is coming off of February when the year-over-year average was down about 1% and March when sale prices were up by about 1.9%. Next up, our mortgage rates. Not a whole lot to report here. Mortgage rates held steady this week. The best rate that I could find advertised by a local lender for the 30-year fixed on Thursday morning was 6.125% with a half of a discount point and an APR of 6.228%. And that's right where rates were for this lender at the very end of last week. Based on what we're seeing in the markets on Thursday, I don't think that we'll see much movement in rates by Friday morning. If there is a big change, I will post a note in the comment section right here. And as always, I'll throw a couple of rate sheets at the end of this video. Next up, our supply and demand, and we'll start with the demand numbers. Like I said at the top of the video, buyer demand keeps rolling along. The number of new purchase contracts agreed to by buyers and sellers this past week was up by about 11% compared to last year at this time. That's coming off the previous 2 weeks where this year's demand outpaced last year's demand by about 13%. We are now looking at 15 straight weeks of higher demand than what we saw in 2025. What is interesting is that the number of lockbox opens was pretty similar to last year, meaning that the number of high intent buyers out looking at homes with their agents is on par with what we saw last year at this time. So a similar number of showings, but a higher number of offers being made and accepted. Now on to supply, the other side of the equation. Supply continues to move up. Again, that's normal for this time of year. However, the number of homes that hit the for sale market this week was below last year's number. That's the second week in a row that we've seen that. The big news is that with the weeks and weeks of stronger demand that we've seen this year, buyers now have almost the same number of homes to choose from as they did last year at this time. Inventory is only up by about 0.7%, which is the lowest number that we've seen in well over a year, and that number continues to shrink. In fact, I would not be surprised if next week the supply or the inventory of homes that buyers have to choose from is actually lower this year than it was last year. So let's sum up the big trends that we're following this week. Sale prices are up, supply continues to rise, buyer demand was down compared to the previous week, but is still up compared to last year at this time, and mortgage rates were flat. Congratulations, you made it to the end of the video. That's the very latest in Portland Metro real estate stats and trends. Thank you as always for joining me for this week's report. As always, I would love it if you gave this video a like or even follow this channel if you haven't already. Have a fantastic weekend and I will see you right here next week.